Green flag at the back, 5-second board is shown. No time being wasted here at Oulton Park by the 750 Motor Club to get this final race of the day underway, which it is now. And it's a great start by the car from pole position, number 70, which is Paul Cook at the start of the race, but Kevin Clark has the advantage just about as they go around Old Hall Corner for the first time. They're still side by side. Clark, though, all the way around the outside, I think has just about done it. I think he's got into the lead of the race as they head down the avenue into Cascades for the first time. He has indeed gone through. It looks like it's Louis Woodward there in third position, and John Brown, I think, in that yellow BMW is in fourth place as they head towards the left-hander at Island Bend for the first time. Steve Schweikart is out there, but he's been passed now by Jack Layton, that car that had dramas in the early race. He has taken the start. He was a bit worried that the problem might not have been fixed.
Yeah, braking issue, wasn't it, that sent him off here at the Shell hairpin. He said, if I don't take the start, it means that we haven't fixed the problem. But obviously they have managed to do that. But brilliant commitment there from Kevin Clark on cold, slick tyres to go round the outside of Paul Cook through Old Hall Corner. That took some doing. So he's got the lead, but now can he escape? He was a second and a half, nearly 1.6 seconds slower than the Wayne Lewis and Paul Cook car in qualifying earlier on, but as Ian made the point, it was a very, very interrupted qualifying session, and I do feel we didn't necessarily see the best of some of our potential front runners, including this car number 73 then, that started fourth on the grid. Didn't have a great start to the race, but they are clawing their way back towards the pointy end.
Certainly are. Up the hill they go, and it is 33 that leads then. Kevin Clark, 70, Paul Cook is in second place, 87, Louis Woodward in third in that very nicely turned out car indeed. That's the M235i, and then it's John Brown, number 7 in the E46 M3 for the drive from Glasgow. I think he raced that car in the M3 Cup Championship that the 750 Motor Club ran for a couple of seasons a few years ago. We've got a battle on. This is the car that started at the back of the grid, 76, which is Stuart Pywell, and he's up with the E30 M3 there of David Nunes in the 116 car, and that then is the battle for 9th and 10th position. Pywell having made the place by the time they got to the finish line.
Jack Layton has just blasted past John Brown down the avenue for fourth position, spotted that out of the window, so another place gain now for car number 73, which is charging through the order. That has already vacated Cascade, headed down towards Island Bend, but that car is really looking racy, isn't it? There are the top two then. And that is still Clark ahead of Cook, then third position Louis Woodward, but look at the way that Jack Layton's already almost on his tail. That would be for third position, so if these two don't get a move on, they could have car 73 arriving in their mirrors before too much longer.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's going to be an interesting race, this one, but Kevin Clark, he won at Brands Hatch last year, he won at Donington Park the year before. Here's Jack Layton. Louis Woodward's not making it easy to get through, and why should he? In that number 87 car, but I think you'll find that the 73 car being started by Jack Layton, the E46 M3, is going to be a good deal quicker than the M235i, and again he looks to the right hand side of the circuit, and it's quite wide, isn't it, that 235 of Lou Woodward. Jack Layton as yet unable to find a way through. Dropping the John Brown car now, which is on its own in fifth position, and he still can't find a way through past Louis Woodward. He thinks he's got the pace in a straight line, but he's been unable to do anything with it as yet.
Yeah, so where can he make the move then? Gets a good run out of Lodge Corner, but again, the inside line is very robustly blocked by Louis Woodward, but blasting round the outside, in the end goes Jack Layton. And I don't know what all the fuss was about. He made it look quite easy. In the end, drove past the number 87 car and moves through into third position. Now, his gap to the leaders is about 6 seconds or so. Paul Cook within 3 or 4 tenths of Kevin Clark. They're essentially circulating as one. I will be very interested over the next couple of laps, Ian, to watch the lap times for Jack Layton and see whether he's got a chance at catching those top two. I think he might.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that, looking at what we saw from him in qualifying for the BMW Car Club race earlier on, but time will tell, and it's still nose to tail between Kevin Clark and Paul Cook here. 4 tenths between them at the start of the lap. We're working lap 3 of the race. Remember, it's a 40-minute race, so a long while still to go here. And nose to tail out of Britain's, up over hilltop they go, then dropping back down towards the chicane, and Not a lot to choose between them. Kevin Clark, very experienced racer in primarily BMWs, really, in the Intersport, those Intersport prepared cars. As Paul Cook mounting an attack here on the lead of the race, but unable to do anything on the way up Clay Hill or into his. Yeah, Kevin Clark, as I was saying earlier on in qualifying, I remember him best for his racing in Euro car in the 1990s, sort of the UK version, if you like, of NASCAR racing, which was based on circuits like the Mallory Mile for its first season, also based on the short ovals as well as the full circuits. Meanwhile, what's Jack Layton done in terms of lap time this time through? Let's have a look. He was 6.2 seconds behind the leader at the start of the lap. He's about to come over the line now to complete another lap, although TSL is not updating itself this time, which is unhelpful as we tried to get that. It is just catching up now, but yeah, it's put Louis Woodward in the lead of the race, so we'll come back to that, Andy.
Yes, not entirely sure, but I think it's come down. I don't think he's 6 seconds back anymore. We've got a slow car here over Clay Hill.
Pywell.
Yes,
yeah.
It is, isn't it? Stuart Pywell, who you said started from the back anyway, and unfortunately that car not running at full pace, which is a shame because it's maybe, I think, the best looking car on the grid. I love that livery, and it's a beautifully prepared car, which sadly is not going to be taking much further part in the race by the looks of it. A couple of the 116s up and over Clay Hill. Now the timing screen catches up, and yes, Jack Layton, new fastest lap of the race, 1:45.178, 2.5 seconds quicker than the leader.
Yeah, so he's going to get there in a lap or so, isn't he? Lap and a half, something like that. We'll have Jack Layton into the lead, or challenging for the lead of the race. Certainly it'll be more difficult, as we've seen, to get past if they defend like Louis Woodward was defending a few moments ago. Certainly Jack Layton will have his work out. That's the Stuart Pywell car just diving for the pit lane there. So that car coming in and is in 14th position at the moment. A good battle here going on between the 116s. That's Ethan Hall in 25 and the 34 car, which has been started by Toby O'Reilly. And they're more or less together, but well, it was who's going to come out of the corner in front. O'Reilly, yeah, carried more speed in and has managed to make a move on Ethan Hall there, who did look like he had a bit of a dab on the brakes on the way into Cascades, which probably explains what happened there. And there's the Stuart Pywell car out of the race by the looks of it in pit lane.
Yes, and just blasting past him were the leading trio, who are now covered by less than 2 seconds. So Jack Layton almost onto the tail of the squabbling Kevin Clark and Paul Cook. Sadly, Pywell taking no further part in the race. I think that he will be heading home early. Here are the leaders, though, heading up towards Island Bend. And look what looms on the horizon. Back markers. Pause there, because I thought I saw a bit of smoke coming from the right rear corner of Paul Cook's car, but I actually think it was tyre smoke. I think it was either sliding across the road or rubbing on the guard slightly. Nothing majorly to worry about, but he is wringing the neck of his car to try and get the lead before Layton starts applying the pressure to him.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to try and get alongside on the way out of Britain's, but couldn't make it through there. Is he going to manage to get in the tow here? But I think by the time they arrive down at Hislops, we're going to have 3 cars together for the lead of the race. Turning their way through the first element of the chicane they go then. It's Kevin Clark, number 33. Number 70, Paul Cook. Number 73 is Jack Layton. And they're basically together now. They've got 116 trophy spec cars up ahead of them on the circuit. And that traffic will start to come into play before very much longer, with still more than half an hour to go in this Ultimate BMW race put on by the BMW Car Club as part of the BMW live event here at Oulton Park, which I think has been a good success, with lots of people turning out for this special event. Now, Paul Cook is really, really close to the back now, and he's trying to capitalise when there's back markers ahead. Kevin Clark had to move to the right of the circuit, directly in front of Paul Cook, to keep out of the way of those back markers. Jack Layton a little bit delayed by them, I fancy there, Andy.
Well, maybe. Paul Cook, track limits as he comes out of Old Hall Corner. Maybe. I'm not actually convinced that Layton was delayed by those back markers. I think he just had a poor run through Lodge Corner because he caught the back markers on the straight. That shouldn't really have slowed him down. But anyway, he's got time, I suppose, on his hand, and he's got the opportunity to use the pit stops. So really, having caught these two, he knows now that he's got 2 or 3 seconds a lap in hand over them. Doesn't really need to pass them on track. Either he can pit earlier or might do the overcut, as they like to call it these days, and pit after those two and use that to his advantage. But now he might have no choice but to join in the battle, because Kevin Clark and Paul Cook almost tangled there at the apex of the Shell hairpin. I think they just about avoided contact, but that's bunched all three together as Paul Cook goes for a gap up the inside of one of the 116s and elbows his way through at the Britain chicane.
Yeah, that was the 151 car of Peter Keane, the drive from Reading, that was in the midst of all of that. But yeah, this is one of those races where you could have a perfectly good motor race spoiled by pit stops, couldn't you? Yes. So let's hope they stay out for as long as they possibly can. The pit lane window opens in another, just under 5 minutes now, and it's open for 15 minutes in total. They are heading up up Clay Hill, under the pedestrian bridge, towards Druids then. The 3 cars basically together now. Kevin Clark, 33, Paul Cook, number 70, and Jack Layton, number 73. Best lap of the race has gone to Jack Layton, and he is a couple of seconds faster than these other 2 cars on fastest lap times. But I just sense that he's not quite as confident as the other 2 with making a move, maybe. Oh. Well, let's see if I'm about to be proved wrong by that on the way down to Old Hall Corner, though.
Oh, he's got the power, but he's not as late on the brakes as Paul Cook. Paul's got the inside line. Is Layton going to go right round the outside? I think he might try it, but then dabs the brakes, backs out of it. Again, knows he doesn't really need to take the risk on track, but he's got Paul Cook's attention now, hasn't he? Paul tried to get a switchback on Kevin Clark coming off Lodge Corner, and for some reason, rather than getting a better exit, seemed to get a terrible exit from the corner, and that kind of allowed Layton to attack. Layton's car definitely quicker down the straights, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. Again, some of that tyre smoke you could see on the right rear of Paul Cook's car. So he spotted that a lap or so ago as well. But I think that's what it is, tyre smoke rather than anything else, as he's pushing on hard there. So down towards Britons they go once again. Layton, I mean, it's a quicker looking car in a way, isn't it? It's got sort of a more menacing stance about it. It seemed to carry more speed out of the hairpin, possibly just getting onto the power because it's got a bit more power a little bit earlier than the 2 cars in front of it. It's got that very wide wing as well. So down towards the chicane they go at Knickerbrook. 3 of them together, separated by probably about half a second. It's one of those chuck a handkerchief over them jobs. Really, really close racing between these 3. They're 20 seconds plus clear of Louis Woodward now, who's in 4th place. John Brown is 40 seconds behind in 5th, and Mark Coulmer in 6th. They're quite well spread out behind, but we've got a very good race at the front of the field. And once again, Kevin Clark defending the lead into Lodge. Paul Cook going to try and go right round the outside this time. He'll be shown the edge of the road, I'm sure. Yes, he is. Over the curb you go. And that could allow Jack Layton this time to get the inside line towards Old Hall Corner. Here they come, the 3 of them together. And Jack Layton going for 2nd place. Is he late enough on the brakes? Paul Cook is going to turn into the corner. Just about stays clear of Layton, but that's twice in a row now, 2 laps in a row, that Cook has tried something at Lodge, and it's nearly cost him 2nd place. I just sense though that Layton not as strong on the brakes as the other 2 cars, and that ultimately might well prove to be his undoing, because you need to be better on the brakes to make the move, and I'm not sure it may be the particular brakes that he has on that car, different specifications, car set up in a different way or whatever. There's going to be more traffic to deal with soon. You've got the BMW 120 that they're going to pass. I think that's Anthony Seddon's 120i that will be lapped, and also the other E30 as well. That's going to be passed too. Either side of Seddon they go. It's the 37 car that's also being lapped. That's Robert Keogh's 325i. And down into the corner, the E30 between now the 2 more modern cars It's still, though, Kevin Clark in the lead of the race.
Yeah, that number 5 car of Anthony Seddon really delayed Paul Cook at Britain's. He wasn't able to get through on the way in, whereas Kevin Clark had been. So that's why there's now a bit of a gap between the two of them. And that's also why Paul Cook was so late on the brakes at his lop, so as not to get stuck behind another car on the way into the second of the chicanes. So Paul Cook, again, pretty aggressive in traffic, but you can see why he's being aggressive, because the one time that he didn't follow Kevin Clark past a lap car, it's cost him, I would say, over a second.
Yep, no, I should think pretty more than that. Let's have a look at the gap as they come over the line. Gap from Clark to Cook is 1.5. It's 0.4 back to Jack Layton in third position. And so Kevin Clark, for a moment at least, can just breathe slightly more easily in this race. Pit lane window will be open in 18 seconds. It'll be interesting to see whether any of these drivers opt to make an early stop in the first few minutes of the pit window. There's a 15-minute opportunity to get into the pit lane. There's going to be a 60-second stationary stop that they need to make. Obviously, Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis need to make a driver change. Totu to Jack Layton and Matthew Sanders. But if Kevin Clark might have the advantage here in that he's going to do the full race distance. He knows the conditions. He's not got to worry about the driver change, and that might hold him in good stead for victory for a third time in the BMW Car Club Ultimate BMW race.
Well, we know, don't we, that Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis are pretty evenly matched. They've demonstrated that already today. We don't, well, I don't at least know how Jack Layton and Matthew Sanders compare to each other, but you're absolutely right. Kevin Clark, we know, will have consistent pace, all being well, across the whole race in that race leading number 33. So, in theory, that could give him an edge, as you said, but he needs everything to go right in the pit stops as well. He is being reeled in on this lap, no doubt about it. Paul Cook and Jack Layton coming back at him, so we will have 3 of them for the lead again, I think. Maybe not by the end of this lap, but partway around the next lap, which will be the 10th lap of the race. The traffic on the horizon, is that going to delay Kevin Clark? Maybe a little bit through Lodge Corner. The tighter line in slows him down on the exit, but then Paul Cook gets blocked as well and didn't really know which way to go. So what is the gap going to be? It was a second and a half. It's down to 8.5 tenths, and Jack Layton sets the fastest lap.
He does indeed, and now he gets up the inside. No, he doesn't get up the inside of Paul Cook. Again, he runs out wide on the exit, over the green concrete, over the textured curb there. So that's a breach of track limit, strictly speaking. So we'll see whether that's picked up. Oulton is one of the places where the officials are relatively alive to potential track limits breaches. So there's Layton, the Suits Me liveried number 73 car, sweeping his way through the left-hander. Now around the shallows corners of back mark. That's Stephen Schreikart. He's actually in 7th place overall. That has now been lapped. Schreikart getting some more track time out of this weekend. Now the gap has come down again, hasn't it, between Clark and Cook. It was 8.5 tenths at the start of the lap, and it's come down from that now. That's for certain. And Cook has got away a little bit from Jack Layton also. So the two leaders are back together again, Andy.
Yeah, Paul Cook gains a lot of time through Britain's. He takes a very different line to Kevin Clark, turns in earlier and sort of straightens the first part of the chicane, which you would think would sacrifice his exit speed, but it doesn't. Now, this might sacrifice some exit speed. They've got 3 of the 116s battling, and they've caught them at Druids, arguably the worst part of the track to catch traffic, and that's really delayed Kevin Clark. Paul Cook tries to get to the inside on corner exit, but the door is firmly shut in his face, and so Kevin Clark retains the advantage. They clear the 116s before we get to Lodge Corner. That group still being led by Tristan Rogers, the number 40 car, in what is a battle for 15th place. Across the line they go again, though. The top 3 staying out once again as we tick towards half race distance, and still Kevin Clark hanging on.
Couple into the pit lane, Peter Keane and Ethan Hall, both in their BMW 116s. They've come in, and Louis Woodward also in the number 87 car from 4th place to make his mandatory pit stop now that the pit lane window is open. But for the moment we're sticking with this battle for the lead, because it is all about deciding which is the ultimate BMW this race. So really it's only appropriate that we focus in on the leaders, who have got another of the 116s to deal with, and then we'll have Mark Coleman to lap, I think, before too much longer as well, who's in 6th place. So they're going to be lapping a long way up the field, these 3 as well. Kevin Clark, Paul Cook and Jack Layton. Again, probably 6 tenths, 7 tenths of a second between all 3 of them. And Paul Cook, can he carry enough speed out of the corner? No, he can't really that time. Kevin Clark gets away from him, and Jack Layton is going to get alongside on the way down towards the Hislops this time. But again, either doesn't have the confidence or the brakes to be able to do anything about him going into the right-hander.
Yeah, Paul Cook got a snap of oversteer coming out of Britain's. He'd carried lovely speed through the chicane, but then a bit too eager with the right foot coming out of it, and that lost him momentum over the hill. He's again under threat over Clay Hill towards Druids, but every time Layton gets within striking distance, as Ian says, he seems to almost back out of the move. I really think Jack Layton is just letting this come to him. He knows the pit stop window is his opportunity to try and make something happen. Stephen Schweikart back out of the pit lane, now in car number 43, as well as the leaders are almost bumper to bumper through Lodge Corner. Paul Cook looking for the exit speed, but Kevin Clark blinks first, heads for the pit lane. So Kevin Clark from the lead, Ian, heads for the pits first. That surprises me.
Well, it does a little bit, doesn't it? So Paul Cook it is that takes over the lead of the race. Then Jack Layton moves up to second. He's still got the fastest lap of the race. On board now with Stephen Schweikart, who's gone back out into the race. He's got a clear track ahead of him at the moment, but I suspect very soon he's going to have those two race leaders bearing down on him. We'll see if they possibly flash by. You can't see his mirror from where we are. They are there. You can see they're not too far behind him, are they now? Heading through Island Bend up towards Shellowers Corner. In the next few moments, they'll be right with Stephen Schweikart.
Yes, they will. Now, they might catch him into Britain's, and we've seen this catch Paul Cook out a few times. No, he stays well out of the way. Good heads-up driving that from Stephen. And he just gets out of the way of the leading two then, who bounce and skip over the curbs through Britain's. This time Paul Cook doesn't get any oversteer on corner exit, and so Jack Layton probably won't be close enough to challenge really down into Hislops. He's weaving around in the mirrors trying to distract Paul Cook. I'm sure if Paul made a mistake and went off the road, Jack would only too happily take the race lead, but I don't think he's willing to take a big risk by making the move on track. Kevin Clark, I think I'm right in saying, has been and gone from the pit lane, so his pit stop is done, and now the question remains, when will those two pit and head back out onto the circuit? And where will they be when they rejoin in comparison to Kevin, who at least now hopefully is in clean air and isn't having to defend quite so much, which may speed him up.
Yeah, has the chance, doesn't he, to make up some time here if he can get some clear laps in, rather than be battling with these two others who are coming up to complete another lap. Are they both going to dive in, or neither of them going to dive in? I thought there might have been one or other of them going in, but we've got Jack Layton now trying to get alongside Paul Cook over the line this time. 0.1 seconds between them, so a tenth between them exactly, but still Jack Layton unable to find a way through. They both have to keep well to the left-hand side of the circuit because there's one of the 116s rejoining after its pit stop. So with 18 minutes of the race left to go, it's Paul Cook, number 70, that leads, and Jack Layton in second place, and both of these need to head in to hand over to their second drivers.
And whilst they're battling, Kevin Clark has the potential to get his head down, doesn't he, and maybe set faster lap times than them. I don't actually think he's as quick as these two, but he had the track position advantage early. There is Kevin back out into the race now then, so he's at Britain's. He's not that far ahead actually of the Cook and Layton scrap. Here that comes, but that's nearly a lap that he is adrift. But we know that these two will be pitting in the relatively near future. Again, sideways is Cook. Off has gone
40, I think.
40, yeah, I think you're right.
Tristan Rogers in the 116i.
I'm not sure where that was, but hopefully he was able to get himself back on the road.
Yeah, he was in 15th position. Here's the race leader, though, Paul Cook. And probably they're going to need to pit this time, aren't they? Because by the time they get round again, the pit lane window will have closed. So they are both going to have to pit this time, I think. Here's Kevin Clark, who is just turning his way past John Brown and into Lodge Corner. And now heading down in that general direction themselves. You've got these two, Paul Cook and Jack Layton. 10th of a second between them at the start of the lap. They're going to have to go for the pits this time. Well, Paul Cook hasn't. Jack Layton has. And over the line, I mean, he might just about squeeze in. I think, oh no, tell you what, I'm wrong. It's 30 minutes, isn't it? Tell you what, blame the commentator for that. I was thinking it's 15 minutes as it was from the end of the 116 trophy, so apologies. They've still got some time. But nevertheless, Jack Layton's gone in to hand over, presumably, to Matthew Sanders.
It drummed up a bit of excitement and drama in what's been a race full of that so far, but yeah, he's got...
Didn't need to create any more, really,
No,
today.
not really, no. The script writers have done a good enough job as it is, but we do now have Jack Layton in, so in a minute or so's time, we'll see where he rejoins in comparison to Kevin Clark, even, who is somewhere over Hilltop, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, there he is, heading down towards the chicane now. And there's John Brown, and then the next car, I think, is going to be Paul Cook. Therefore, in a way, I mean, I think Kevin Clark might have lost more time than I might have expected in his pit stop, but maybe that's just me having a slightly incorrect view of where I would have expected to have been on track in relation to Paul Cook having made the stop.
Is there a minimum pit stop time?
60 seconds, yeah.
No, that's a good point, because they're lapping in
145-ish.
Yeah, so 105 seconds or
Yeah.
so. Yeah, no, I think you're right, actually, because look, well, there's the point, because out goes the car now driven by Matthew Sanders, and Kevin Clark's only at Lodge Corner, is he? No, they are going to be together, actually.
More or less.
Yeah, here comes Kevin Clark there. So, no, about right then, but Kevin Clark does drop behind number 73.
He does indeed, but yeah, that's not a huge amount of difference at all. So that just leaves Paul Cook to hand over to Wayne Lewis. In fact, he is in this time. He's in the pits, the race leader, Paul Cook.
And Kevin Clark back ahead of Sanders, who, of course, is getting up to speed, whereas Kevin Clark's been in the car for the entirety of the race. That was the advantage.
Yeah, and after the pit stop, he's been out for a couple of laps as well. So the heat was in the tyres, his head was in the zone, and Matthew Sanders, possibly inevitably, losing out there to Kevin Clark. So we'll see what Sanders can do in the remaining part of this race. We'll also see exactly where Paul Cook is going to feed into this in about half a lap's time.
We will indeed. Paul Cook then over Hilltop. Look at the gap that he's got over Sanders already, so this could boil down at least over the next 5 minutes or so to Cook versus Clark again. No complaints here. That's been a brilliant scrap all race long between those two. But where is that? Well, it won't be Cook, will it? Of course, it will be Wayne Lewis now who takes over car number 70. And again, he's going to have the same problem. Yes, he's done a race already today, but it will still inevitably take him a lap or so to get up to speed, to find the confidence in the car, to figure out how the car is driving now at this point in the race. Whereas Kevin Clark is fully in the groove. He heads towards Lodge Corner, whilst Wayne Lewis is already released from his pit box, but he's got the entire length of the pit lane to go. There he is, look, heading for Old Hall Corner, and over Deer Leap comes Kevin Clark. Ian, this could be very, very close.
It looks like it's going to be close, doesn't it? Over the line goes Kevin Clark. It looks like Kevin Clark, I think, is going to have the advantage when they come out, but not by very much. But of course, he's also got the advantage of having been on track. Look, he's just done the best lap of the race as well. A 1:44.455 when it really mattered to get himself out in front of Wayne Lewis. Albeit, probably he would have got ahead anyway, given that he's already up to speed and Wayne Lewis is just still finding his feet. There's 13 minutes of the race left to go.
And the result of this race now hinges really on how quickly Wayne Lewis can get up to speed, because we saw Cook maybe looking a little bit quicker than Clark in the early stages of the race, but now Wayne Lewis needs to be even faster in comparison to the number 33 car, because it's going to be a sizable gap actually to try and overhaul. Although Clark makes a bit of a mess of the Britain chicane there. He went in all wrong. They got a big slide midway through the chicane. So Kevin Clark, that shows how hard he's pushing. He's just set that fastest lap, but it isn't necessarily pace that's coming super easily.
We've lost the 37 car of Rob Keogh. That's out of the race. It overheated, I'm afraid to say. So his race is over by the looks of it, down there in the pit lane. Race continues for the rest of them though. 12 minutes of it still to go. And Kevin Clark there back into the 116 zone. A couple of them to deal with. The 31 car is the next of those, which is the Sam Holman David Smith car. Soon made short work of that. But we'll come up towards the end of what will be lap 15 of the race, with probably about 11.5 minutes to go at the time, and we'll see what the gap is between Wayne Lewis, Kevin Clark and Wayne Lewis, and what chances there might be of Wayne Lewis making his way back through. The gap, 4.25 seconds. And for reference, it's another 6.5 seconds back to Matthew Sanders in third.
Yes, so Sanders has had a few laps to get up to speed now and is still about 5 seconds slower than Clark, so I don't think he's going to be much of a factor, unfortunately, but Wayne Lewis could still, in theory, if he finds some speed now, start eating into that advantage held by the race leader. There through Cascades comes the third place man. The fearsome looking number 73 car that looked really rapid in the first part of the race. Well, maybe Jack Layton should have been more aggressive to try and get into the lead of the race, knowing that maybe he was going to be the quicker of the two drivers in that car to try and steal a bit of a march on the rest. But that didn't happen, and it now looks as though it's Kevin Clark versus Wayne Lewis. But I don't think that gap is shrinking, Ian.
Let's head down to the pit lane then. Kieran Mogg is down there, and he will find out who he's got to talk to.
Yeah, down here with Jack Layton from the 73 Suits Me car, I've been told to say. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I should have said it earlier, shouldn't I?
Excellent. Right. So, obviously, you guys are battling really hard for the lead. We're just having a bit of a chat as well. You're saying they're defending quite hard out there.
Yeah, really strong defence from the cars in front. Yeah, really good racing. Yeah, the door was closed firmly many times, and obviously we don't want to risk any more damage after the ABS issue earlier. So, hand over to Matthew now, who can pick up a few more.
And obviously, it's Matthew's car technically, so he can probably push it a little bit more than you would be comfortable to.
100%. Yeah, I've got to bring it home.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, do you reckon he can take the win?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Matthew's pace probably isn't quite there, but I think we do stand a chance of figuring in the top end, and he's made great progress all weekend. So yeah, just have a clean race, prove the car's okay. I think that's our main goal. Obviously, we're kind of guessed in this race. We don't normally do with 750 Motor Club, but it's been a really good experience for us.
Absolutely. How have you experienced the day as a whole? Obviously, there's a big car club here with all the BMWs on show. Have you enjoyed the experience and the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's really nice to have some people actually attend some motorsport in the UK. So yeah, anything to bring crowds in and get some exposure to, especially younger audiences, to see what's going on here. I think it's a really good thing.
Absolutely. Well, good luck for the rest of the race then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And obviously, we'll head back up to Ian and Andrew. Hopefully, that battle for first is still going.
Jack Layton there with Kieran Mogg. Andy McEwen with me here in the commentary box.
I thought I was in trouble then, being full name like that.
No. Well, you never know. Words maybe need to be had. Right, we've got 9 minutes to go. 30 minutes or so have gone then. Kevin Clark it is that leads. He's 9.8 seconds clear now, so he's been pulling away from Wayne Lewis rather than the gap going the other way, which is what we kind of hoped for, I think, didn't we? We were hoping for a battle to build up towards the end, but it looks like the race has settled down now.
It looks like it, and really a race decided by the fact that Kevin Clark was solo driving. I mean, that's really what's, well, he's not won it yet, but that was what looks like might win him the race, because it's just been that time to acclimatise to the car, hasn't it, for the other two, that has cost them, realistically, a shot at the race win. But you never know, something could happen to Kevin Clark. It could yet fall into the hands of this man, in particular Wayne Lewis, or the knot of traffic that he's got himself embedded into through the Britain chicane, not really helping his cause. So with things calming down at the front then, that sort of brings us to where the battles might develop elsewhere up and down the order. Well, what I can tell you, before we move on to that, is there's a penalty for car number 5, which is a 45.2 second penalty, very precise, for car number 5, which I presume is because they were under the minimum pit stop time.
Yeah, I would think that's probably a short pit stop. It's I've got probably the list of penalties here, have I? No, but that's probably going to be 30 seconds plus twice the deficit. So, yeah, probably quite short compared to what it should have been. How hard can it be to time 60 seconds? Question mark.
Yeah, well, apparently quite difficult given the amount of penalties we see for that. But of course, it is, in their defence, slightly complicated by the fact that it's not the stationary time usually, is it? It's the pit entry to pit exit time. Yeah. So if you haven't practiced it a few times, it can be easy to get it wrong, I suppose.
Let's have a go on board for one of the final times today with Swack, Steve Schreikart, as he's making his way out of the Knickerbrook complex, up the hill, up Clay Hill, sort of cresting the hill there at about the point of the pedestrian bridge. Then you go through sort of shallow left-hand curve there before going then the double right-hander that is Druids. A couple of apexes there, then on to the straight. Looks like it's been relatively recently resurfaced, this part of the circuit, under the vehicle bridge that we use to get into and out of the infield here at Donington Park, then through Lodge Corner, making reasonably close friends with the apex, not using the curbs on the way out of the corner, climbing up Dearly and over the line once again. Steve Schweikart in 7th place, now heading into Oulton Corner with Kevin Clark blasting past him on driver's right.
Indeed so, out of Old Hall Corner he goes then, down the avenue towards the right-hand kink at Denton's, and then this big bump just as you hit the brakes into Cascades can so easily unsettle the car. Using the camber, well no, not using the camber, off the road goes Stephen Schweikart. I said it could unsettle the car, and I think it did. Stephen lucky to get away with that, and he will be thrilled to hear after the race, I'm sure, that we caught that all live on camera.
Absolutely perfect timing to be on board with him. He may have been listening to the commentary as well, and was actually just giving you a demonstration of what you were talking about. He's down at Shell Oil's corner now, which is caught out of the way on a few occasions today. Schweikart in 7th place in the number 43 car. Of course, this race doesn't have different classes. It's just a run what you brung, as long as it's a BMW type of situation. This. Right, the Wayne Lewis car is now behind Matthew Sanders by quite a long way. 24 seconds behind Sanders. Sanders up to 2nd. So Wayne Lewis somewhere along the line has lost a lot of time here, hasn't he? 58 seconds now behind the leader, Kevin Clark, who's only got 5 minutes to go. He's probably going to get 3 more laps out of this, something like that.
Yeah, I'll try and get a look at the Wayne Lewis car next time we see it, then try and see if there is an issue, if it's slowing. Its lap time last time was, well, okay, not quick. He was 6 seconds or so slower than the race leader, but he's lost more than 6 seconds, hasn't he?
I mean, both Sanders and Lewis were slow, but they weren't together. So it's not like they've had some issue where they've had to come in together or something. Sanders' last lap was a 1:53, Lewis was a 1:51 last time through.
Well, there is Lewis over Hilltop. The car looks okay, nothing hanging off it, no smoke, it's going at speed, so he must have had a moment somewhere, maybe a quick spin, and yeah, just has managed to get away without any damage, which is good news, but it does give us a little bit of a chase to be had now. Can he... well, no, I know the answer to that already. He's 24 seconds behind Sanders, so no, he's not going to be able to catch him, unfortunately, before the checkered flag, which is only 4 minutes away.
Certainly is. Kevin Clark making his... Wayne Lewis making his way through Druids that time. 3 minutes 50 seconds left of this race. 41 seconds now, the gap between first and second. Sanders lapping the 1:52, so either he's sort of just given up, or there is a problem with that car, because it's sort of several seconds off what it's capable of. Well, we know that Matthew Sanders isn't as quick, I don't think, as Jack Layton, but even so, he was lapping faster than that a few moments ago. And that time through, Lewis goes through, he's done another 1:50, and he's sort of 6 seconds off the pace that car was doing earlier on, and we wouldn't expect to see that explained just by the drivers. Now, that's a change of position on the road, I think, because Johnny Hayes in the number 93 car is now ahead of Steve Schweikart in number 43, so that's a change for 7th position that we've just had there. I've not really seen too much of Johnny Hayes during the course of this race, the man from Shrewsbury, so at his local circuit here at Oulton Park. And on board we go with Steve Schweikart again to see if he can find a way past Hayes. They're going past one of the 116s, which there's on the left hand side of shot there, and now into Druids they go. So the red car of Hayes, the white and blue car of Schweikart making their way through Druids corner now with 2.5 minutes to go.
Well, Hayes started the lap 2.3 seconds behind Schweikart, so yeah, something strange has happened there to allow that position to change, especially given the fact that Schweikart now looks every bit as quick as Hayes, if not slightly faster, and may well move to challenge here before too much longer. Towards Old Hall Corner they go, and the wide line on the way in, but a much earlier turn-in look there for Schweikart, so he hits the apex much better than Hayes and then carries the speed down the avenue as well. So Schweikart, I'm not sure what happened, he must have had a moment, another moment somewhere, perhaps down here at Cascades. Let's see if he can redeem himself now from earlier on, have a really good run off Cascades and maybe turn that into an overtake down the back straight. He's got the first part right.
Indeed so. So we're back down towards Island Bend, the left-hander once again. Schweikart carrying a bit more speed into that part of the circuit. Is he going to try and set himself up for a move at Shallows Corner? And he's still a couple of car lengths behind as they work their way around the hairpin, then sort of head back in the direction of the paddock and the infield. Through Britons they go. The 93 car of Hayes, the 43 car of Schweikart having a nice little scrap here. 93 car of Hayes, the compact, it's a similar type of car, different engines in them. I think it's a 3-litre engine that Schweikart has. It's a 2.8 litre for Hayes, so you'd fancy that Schweikart should be able to find a way back through. You see Hayes out in the Club Enduro Championship with the 750 Motor Club, and Schweikart certainly carrying more speed here out of Hislops and through Knickerbrook and up Clay Hill. Is he going to possibly be able to mount an attack at Druids? It kind of feels like he might be able to hit, if not here, then on the way down into Lodge Corner. Hayes on the brakes, Schweikart follows suit, and actually Hayes seems to just pull out a couple of car lengths through that part of the circuit, such that Schweikart is going to be too far back, I think, to outbrake Hayes into Lodge.
Yeah, Hayes took a lot more speed into Druids, but then didn't really sacrifice exit speed. Again, different lines going into Lodge Corner, and that time it was Schweikart who was quicker off the turn, but not quick enough to draw alongside before Old Hall Corner. We've got 16 seconds left on the clock. Where are the race leaders? They've not long gone through, I don't think. Kevin Clark through to begin his final lap. Well, actually, it was about a minute ago because, of course, Sanders is that far back. So, yeah, Kevin Clark, here he comes, right on cue, arrives down at Hislop Chicane, now less than half a lap away from what is going to be look like a relatively easy race victory, but actually that first half of the race was very hard work. He has earned this one.
Yeah, and he's probably going to win this by more than a minute in the end, isn't he? Because it's 56 seconds to the good at the start of this final lap of the race, so it's going to be a 22-lap race for this ultimate BMW contest. Kevin Clark, he won at Donington Park 2 years ago. He won at Brands Hatch last year. The ultimate BMW race moving to Oulton Park for this season. It's a circuit where a couple of years ago Kevin Clark had a very big accident at Old Hall Corner, but he's going to put that to rights now with a third win in the ultimate BMW race in that M3 CSL here at Oulton Park. And what was in the early stages a very dramatic, very close and tight race has turned into something different in the second part of it, such that he has a huge margin of victory. The second car across the line is the car in 6th place, but we'll go back, Andy, to this scrap for 7th place.
Yeah, Stephen Schweikart on the tail still of Jonathan Hayes, but running out of time to find a way through now. We're on board with Schweikart exiting Knickerbrook. Now, he's a bit closer, I'd say, at this part of the circuit than he was a lap ago. He won't really be looking for an overtake into Druids, more to try and get the exit from Druids and maybe challenge into Lodge Corner, although he takes a very tight line on the way into the corner, then runs a bit wide of the apex. He's almost off the road again, and that, I'm afraid, has cost him any chance now of taking this 7th place away. Johnny Hayes should be safe to the flag, but Stephen Schweikart threw everything at it on the final few laps.
One of the 116 is heading into pit lane a little bit early. We've got these two coming up to the line to confirm their 7th and 8th position, so it's going to be Hayes 7th, Schweikart in 8th. We've still not had the second place car over the line. There is Matthew Sanders, yeah, a minute and 7 seconds behind in the end. Kevin Clark pulled another 11 seconds clear on the final lap of the race, and then there's going to be another gap back, I think, to Wayne Lewis in 3rd place. There he is now, about to cross the line, and yet he another 15 seconds behind the car of Sanders. And just a couple more cars to take the flag, and then we'll take you through the results of that ultimate BMW race. There's still the parade to come here at Oulton Park, so if you're taking part in that, do enjoy it. If you want to stay and watch that, then please do so. There goes Lou Woodward over the line. He takes 4th place, and also going over the line is Anthony Seddon a lap down. The other two cars, the 235 and the 120, go over the line now. So that's all of the cars over the line to end that ultimate BMW race. Before we give you the results, I'll just say thanks once again to all of the marshals. A few final words from you, Andy?
Very enjoyable day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Always enjoy a day in the sunshine at Oulton Park, but we've had some fantastic racing today, definitely. And nice that the BMW-related content has produced some of the best racing of the day as well. Seems fitting, doesn't it? So, yeah, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to being back with 750 Motor Club again at Anglesey.
Yep, I'll see you there. Let's have a look at the results of that ultimate BMW race. Kevin Clark it was that took the win after 22 laps of racing in the BMW M3 CSL. Second in car 33, I should say. Second, number 73, Jack Layton and Matthew Sanders in the E46 M3. They were a minute 7.491 seconds behind. Third, number 70, Paul Cook, Wayne Lewis. Fourth, number 87, Louis Woodward. Fifth, number 7, John Brown. Sixth, number 66, Mark Colmer. Seventh, number 93, Johnny Hayes. Eighth, number 43, Stephen Schreikart. Ninth, number 116, David Nunes. And rounding out the top 10 was the number 5 car of Anthony Seddon. Then we get into the 116s. The Lewis Tyndall and Toby O'Reilly car was the best of those from Ethan Hall, and Peter Keane was third of that group of cars. And just waiting for the rest of them to go through. I think a few non-finishers amongst those as well, unfortunately, during the course of that ultimate BMW race. Well, that's it. Ultimate BMW race bringing the BMW Live Day and the 750 Motor Club race meeting to a close here at Oulton Park today. Don't forget to come back to Oulton Park next weekend when the TCR UK Touring Car Championship is here, the race meeting organised by the British Racing and Sports Car Club. The 750 Motor Club are next in action at Snetterton in 3 weeks' time as well. If you're looking for your next fix of 750 MC racing, they'll be live streaming on one of the days from there as well, courtesy of Alpha Live. And thanks to all of the Alpha Live team for producing the live stream throughout the day. Thanks to Kieran Mark, who's been down in the pit lane with us, and Andy McEwen alongside me in the commentary box all day. Hope you've enjoyed BMW Live. Hope you've enjoyed the 750 Motor Club action here at Oulton Park as well, on a day where the weather has been pretty kind to us, all things considered. And we look forward to being back at Oulton Park in September for our second event of the season. Very shortly, for those of you on the live stream, we'll be able to go down to hear from Kieran Mark, to speak to our top drivers from the Ultimate BMW race. So we'll be introducing him in just a moment for that. We're not going to be able to bring you that on the PA, I don't think, there, because we're up against the 6:30 curfew here at Oulton Park, so we do need to go off air very shortly. So for now, from all of us here at Oulton Park, myself, Ian Soman, Andy McEwen and Kieran Mogg from the whole team at the 750 Motor Club, where we thank all of the officials and marshals of the club, and indeed everyone at the BMW Car Club who've put on BMW Live and Motorsport Vision. From all of us, it's a very good night, and we'll hand down to Kieran Mogg in Parc Fermé.
I absolutely agree, both Ian and Andy. It has been a fantastic day, full of some fantastic racing, fantastic cars, fantastic drivers, and the sun has stayed for the most part. We haven't had any rain though, which is amazing. And we have our final finishers here. Kevin Clark in the number 33 machine took out the final win. Congratulations. And as the title says, this is the ultimate BMW.
Yeah, for the third time. I'm really proud of that. It's a new car for me. I crashed my old one here, actually, quite heavily. A couple of cars tangled, no one's fault in particular, except I was going too fast and I destroyed the car. But new car, I'm really pleased with it. And it's lovely to win it for the third time after it's only been run 3 times, but yeah.
Congratulations. Do you have anybody to thank?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, everybody who's helped me with the car. I got all the names on the car, so I can't go through them all, and the lads who are here today helping me. It's just brilliant to have the camaraderie and the competitiveness out there. It's just unreal, you know. I mean, it's so close right at the beginning. I could not drop that car, and I was as hard as I was trying and taking risks and everything, but I just couldn't get away from him. I know it's always easier to follow than to lead, but it just shows how equal the cars are.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our second place is the Layton and Sanders machine of 73, which is over there. So Matthew Sanders in the car for the second stint. Congratulations, obviously. How was it out there for you?
It was good. It was brilliant. Fast. competitive, a lot of different standards. Couldn't keep up with this guy, and I think he broke down, so I'm happy to be second. Really enjoyed it, really nice. Surface was nice. Marshall's have done a wonderful job, and yeah, very much enjoyed that.
Absolutely. And how have you found the day as a whole?
Besides having to miss a race because we had ABS failure and we didn't actually think we'd get out this afternoon at all, really enjoyed it, really nice atmosphere. 750 Motor Club's not won a race with an awful lot, but yeah, I'd come back, I think it's been fantastic, really, really good. Well organised, lovely day, nice pits, nice people. Can't say enough about it, really.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much. And finally, the 70 machine of Cook and Lewis. If I can just jump in here. Oh, where's the driver gone? I don't know. I don't know where the driver's gone. Where's this one here? Lewis, sorry. I didn't know which one you were. I didn't know. Right, so third place. Obviously, you guys are having an absolute storming battle out there.
Yeah, it was Paul Cook driving it at the start of the race, and then we done it as a relay. So, yeah, we were lucky to finish, actually. The car cut out, so we were stood next to the marshal's point for 15 seconds or so.
So how have you found the event as a whole?
Yeah, fantastic. The whole day's been, with the weather like this, it's just been, fantastic. So, yeah, great result to bring it home after breaking down. So, brilliant.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the third place.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Now, they are going to have some trophy giving out, but I believe that's going to be done after the stream. So, from all of us here, thank you very much for watching. From myself, from Andrew, and obviously Ian up in the commentary box. Really appreciate you watching. We also want to give a big thank you to the Marshals. I know they've already said it, but I want to say it myself as well. Thank you to the Marshals. Thank you to 750. Oh, I'm being told the presentation is live, but I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so the trophies are over there, ready to be given out. But we don't actually have any drivers at the moment. So, I believe they're coming over. Actually, yes, I do apologise. They are coming over. So, I believe we are ready to give out the awards. Here we go. All right. So, BMW Car Club banner just coming over. Ooh. Let's get it out of there. If we have a look around, there's obviously all the drivers getting ready for the awards. So we've got all the drivers here from the BMW Car Club in that race. Just fantastic race, obviously, as we've just seen. And we are waiting just for the prizes to be given out. I believe I can see them coming over now, so it shouldn't be too much longer before we can get the prize giving underway. I can see Johnny has found a couple of cars over there as well, which are the cars that did not finish in the top three, but there's obviously plenty of there. So you can see obviously the 116 at the back there, they took part in both the BMW Ultimate race and obviously the 116 trophy as well. I'm sorry, I do apologise, the sun is right on my eyes right now, so I'm struggling to see a little bit. Obviously we can see a few cars further forward as well, so we've got a nice F22 2 Series, there's an IC46 at the front there, the number 7 of Brown. There's an E30, I believe, at the front, the 116 over there as well. So like it isn't a massive eclectic mix of BMWs, and that is why the racing is so good, because there's just a bit of everything. But that's why people take part in it. You never know who's going to end up on top, except that car has won 3 times. I believe we are almost ready to get underway though, so I shall head over to the front. Is this all the awards? I'm not 100% sure. Are we... Let me just ask James, the organiser here. Are we ready to go? Yeah? Excellent. Okay. All right, so I've been given the nod from James. So we've got all the trophies in place now. and 33 machine there. The overall winner, the Ultimate BMW, 3 times running now. Very well prepared car. Right, if I can just get Johnny now. So I believe we are ready to go. Johnny, if you want to head over here. And here we go.
Right, first award, thank you very much, is for the Modern Classic, which is pre-98. Which is this one, yeah? And that's Mark Colmer. I don't know, I've got so much stuff here. Put the hat on.
I'll put the hat on.
Put the hat on.
Cheers, mate. That's a surprise.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank
Well
you
done.
very
You see,
much. Thank
it was worth coming now.
Cool. It was worth coming. Thank you.
Okay, next one. First Classic, pre-91. Now, anyone who knows me know I run the E30 register in the car club. So, David Newnes in an E30. Well done, David. Have a hat.
Very much. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Thank
Not
you very
biased
much.
at all. There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much. Brilliant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
Now we're on to 116s. First, actually, we do third first, isn't it? Let's have a look. What have we got here? Yeah, third in the 116s is Ethan Hall. There you go, mate. Have a hat.
Thank you.
Have a lovely trophy.
Cheers.
Congratulations. There you go. Do you want to pose for the camera? There you go. Second 116. Actually, we did that the wrong way around. I think I might have made a mistake there. Sorry. Made a mistake. Anyway, what should we do? How do we sort that one out? Come back. Come back. You got second.
Oh,
I'll swap you for a bigger one.
thank you.
There you go. Well done. Third, Ray Grimes and Robert Rees. Well done. Who's having the hat and who's having the trophy? Good. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
He deserves that trophy.
Thank you. Yes.
Well done, mate.
Oh.
First, 116, Toby O'Reilly and Lewis Tyndall. Well done, mate. There you go.
One and only time I'm getting it.
Where's the other one? Are you on your own?
Just on me. Love it. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Chairman's Cup. This is an interesting one. Jonathan Hayes. There you go, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Drive that. Well done.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Just trying to stick around for the photo.
Yeah, got it.
First on treaded tyres. John Brown.
Thanks, mate.
All right, there you go. It's
Thank
worth
you.
the trip all the way from
Definitely.
Scotland. Now,
Thank
look
you
at
very
that. You've got
much.
a plastic trophy.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Third overall, as if they didn't have enough trophies today, Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis. Who's having what? You kiss me, you're dead.
You're told you can drive. See, I told
Was it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm being told off for the microphone. I get told out at the awards nights. Right, second overall, John Layton and Matthew Sanders. Well done, see?
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, well done. Well done. There you go, Aaron, that's one for the wall. And first overall and first on slick tyres, Kevin Clark. Well done, Kevin. There you go, mate. There's one. There's another one. And there's a hat. Keep the sun off you. There you go.
Off my solar panel.
Well done, mate.
Cheers. Thanks ever so much, Neil. Really
All right, no, it's
appreciate
present. Nice. Thanks for coming.
Oh, well, I'm going to do more.
Yeah. All right.
Get out more
You've
in
got to
the
keep
year.
defending that now.
No, yeah.
All right. Thanks very much, guys, for coming. Please come again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. All right. Cheers. Bye. There you go.
Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to all the drivers. It's been a fantastic day all round. Fantastic racing, as we've already said, and I can actually round out. I've been given the all clear now to round out the stream. So thank you very much to all of you for watching. From myself, from Andy, from Ian. Thank you to the marshals as well. Thank you to 750 for putting on this amazing event. Thank you to the BMW Car Club for being here and supporting all of this. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks at Snetterton, and I'll be there. So I'll see you then. Don't miss it. It will. I probably should just say that again, because it will be fantastic, so don't miss it. We'll see you there.